Hey guys, it's Rachel, and this week's video is going to be a Halloween art because, Halloween's coming up, so I thought I should make a video that has to do with Halloween. So I decided to change it up a little bit and try to do something different on the channel. So I did a pixel art for today's video, and I chose to do pixel art because, I just wanted to change it up a little bit, and, I've been doing pixel art for the past few days, and just like try it out, and it's probably like one of my first times doing pixel art, and I really like it. It's kind of fun and sort of challenging because it's hard to make circles and rounder shapes, and shading's a little bit harder, but it's a fun challenge. So that's what I'm doing for today's video. And what I wanted to do with this drawing is basically make like a creepy house that you would see on Halloween when you're trick-or-treating. And so what I did with the house is sort of make it slanted and had the roof sort of droopy and made a crooked chimney and crooked windows and stuff like that. So it just sort of made it creepy and spooky, I guess. And now I'm starting to add in the pumpkins. I wanted one smaller pumpkin and one taller pumpkin, just to change it up a little bit. And then I started adding in gravestones. At first I had a lighter gray, and then I thought it didn't pop out from the dark grass, so I made it a little bit darker. Now I'm adding in ghosts because some decorations that you see will be pumpkins, gravestones, ghosts, skeletons, and stuff like that. So I decided to add in the little ghosts, I guess. And then I added in the sky in the back, and I did like a dark blue and added in a full moon. And then I decided that the house was too much, or like it was too close to the color of the sky, so I made it a little bit brighter and started to do some shading to the drawing. So I went to the moon and started to add in a few craters, and now I'm starting to shade in the house. And I started to make bricks in the house after I did some basic shading, and I think that turned out pretty well. Go with the whole crooked and spooky theme to this drawing. I made the bricks not fully lined up and straight. I made them sort of crooked and cracked and not like horizontal and vertical, and I think that turned out pretty good, which is also what I did with the windows, so they're not perfectly straight and such. And I actually end up changing the color of the door because I thought the purple didn't really like fit the whole drawing, and the purple was too like bright and such, so I went with the darker color later on. And now I'm starting to do some shading under the roof. And with shading with pixel art, what you sort of have to do is take your base color, darken it by quite a bit, and then do like one or two lines of that color, and then try to find a color between the dark color that you just selected and your base color, and then you make that as your transition color. So it's pretty hard to do shading, but you get used to it after a while. And now I'm starting to do some basic shading on the bricks, and that should be about it for the blue part of the house. Now I'm starting to work on the windows, and I start off on the right window because I thought it wasn't like crooked enough and slanted and spooky enough, so I made it more like the one on the left and had it not symmetrical and more slanted and such. And then I did some shading on it, and I think the windows turned out pretty good. Another thing I want to let you guys know about is I'm going to be doing another Halloween video. It'll be my last Halloween video. Should be my next video, depending if I can get it out by then. But it's going to be a really cool video, so just be excited for that. And why it's not coming out for this week is because it takes a long time to make, but it's a pretty short video. So just wanted to let you guys know, be excited for that video because it is going to be good. So now I'm adding some stuff into the windows, and to go with the whole spooky factor, I added in some spooky dripping candles and did some sort of lighting slash shading with them, and I think those turned out pretty good. So as you can see now, I changed the color of the door to black. I just think it suited the whole thing better, like I said before. And now I'm starting to work on the decorations. So I start with the pumpkins and add in their eyes and their teeth. The one on the left has one tooth on the top, one tooth on the bottom. The one on the right has two teeth on the top. And I think they turned out pretty good. And as you can see, I'm just doing some basic shading on them, and they're probably my favorite decorations out of the three different kinds of decorations that I did: the gravestones, the ghosts, and the pumpkins. Now I'm starting to shade in the gravestones and then start to shade in the ghosts too. I'm starting to shade in the pathway, and what I wanted to do with the pathway is sort of make like a descending shade of grays, and I think it turned out really nice because I think the plain gray sort of was boring and didn't really go with the whole theme. But once I added in the descending gray colors, I think it turned out really nice and sort of adds that spooky, dark feeling. Now I'm starting to shade in the roof, and I wanted to, especially around the chimney, add in the shading that would be caused from the light of the moon, and I think that turned out really nice too. Now I'm starting to shade in the ghosts and adding in their eyes. Hopefully you can tell that they're ghosts. They sort of just look like white blobs, but that's okay. And now I'm starting to shade in the grass. And what I did with the grass is basically what I did with every other shading. Start with a darker color and then lighten it up slowly. And then I start to add in some shading around the gravestones and pumpkins and such from the light of the moon. And then in front of the gravestones I add in some dirt, pretending that they came out of the ground, of course, and then add some shading to the chimney, and we are basically done. Except I just add in a little bit of shading to the sky, and then yeah, here is the final product. This is probably my favorite pixel art that I have made. I haven't made very many pixel arts, but of the ones that I've made, this is my favorite. And just remember, guys, get excited for next week's video. It is going to be really cool. But if you guys enjoyed this week's video, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to leave a comment down below, letting me know what kind of videos you guys like to see on my channel. And make sure to subscribe for more awesome weekly videos. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.